Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we need to know the details of this unspeakable event regarding Senior Benjamin and Vanguard 1. It's lost in the mid-card. Matt's shaking his head. Maybe he doesn't want to know the details. We'll talk about BTE in just a minute, but we are here. We are going to talk the big Double or Nothing pay-per-view. It was here this past Saturday. Blew our minds away. So we are going to discuss that, break it down, talk about Raw and SmackDown and NXT, and a couple of sad stories, a couple of good stories, and we'll call it a week. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, which we have, fancy new video for. And the links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Go to the pinned post there or the pinned tweet on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. Mr. Matt Black, how you doing, Matt?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Good. As you can see, if you're watching the video version of this, Daryl is on assignment this week. Hopefully we'll get him back next week to discuss all things wrestling. But let's kick it off, Matt, with Double or Nothing, live from the Daly's place in Jacksonville, Florida. What were your overall thoughts on the show, Matt?
I really liked some stuff, didn't really care for some other stuff, and then the main event happened and nothing else mattered. The main event made the entire show worthwhile. The stadium stampede was incredible, and the whole show got an immediate 2 thumbs up for me, simply because of the main event.
Yeah,
so I've already watched the main event like 3 times.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I need to watch it again.
Yeah. I don't normally go back and watch, wrestling things again that quickly. But yeah, I've watched that match 3 times already.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that because I remember I think I rewatched the Money in the Bank match almost immediately just to see if I missed anything. I just haven't had time yet, but I definitely want to take a look at the match once more. We started off things with the buy-in, which was basically a number 1 contenders match of the Best Friends and
Private
Party, and pretty good match there. Best Friends win. I think that probably the right team went over. They've been around a little more often, so they will get a shot at Hangman and Kenny soon. Speaking of which, before we go further, I mean, anything on the Dynamite, the Go Home show, anything strike you there? Anything good? Did you like the Go Home show? Did you like how it ended?
Yeah, I didn't have any problems with the Go Home show. I thought it was solid. It was good.
I think the highlight of the night might have been Ray Phoenix and Orange Cassidy. That was a hell of a match, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Phoenix is hurt again.
Yeah, that sucked. So that led to obviously a replacement of Joey Janela in the match, which we'll get to in a minute. And of course, ended in the stadium, gave us a taste of, gave you a little taste, made you want to go buy that pay-per-view. So we kick things off with the Casino Ladder match. You think it was a good idea to start with this?
I think it was a good idea to start with this. I did not like the fact that they waited to do the Mystery Man as the last entrant. I felt that was way too contrived, and it would have made more sense to bring him in at like 6 or 7 or something like that. But wait until the end. It's just like, really, come on, guys. You didn't need to go that route, but they did.
Did you like the Did you like the rules? Kind of
Oh
a
yeah,
Royal
it's definitely
Rumble,
better. It's definitely better than their Casino Battle Royal. So yeah,
which was
I would prefer this to something that they would keep going forward.
yeah. This was
Uh,
kind of a combined ladder match Royal Rumble where Casino Battle Royal they kind of took brought in group by group by group, and then had a wild card be the last entrant. So yeah, I liked it. Started off with some SCU, Kazarian and Sky. 2 minute clock. Hey, the clock is on there, so you know it's actually 2 minutes, Vince. You actually know it's a 2 minute clock there. Kip Sabian was the number 3 entrant, and obviously thinking SCU is going to work together. Jimmy and no rules, so Jimmy Havoc, who's been running with Super Bad lately, came in and kind of evened up the score. Darby came in at 4, Orange at 5, Colt Cabana 6, Joey Janelle at 7, and Luchasaurus 8, and the number 9 was the debuting Brian Cage. What were your thoughts on Brian Cage debuting? Happy to see him.
I kind of expected it to be Cage.
Me too.
It was the person that made the most sense. I know a lot of people were hoping it was going to be Drew Gulak, and I was just like, I don't know. It might be too soon to do something like that. And now he's back with WWE apparently, so he got the money he wanted. Good job, Drew. But my only issue with it is I don't know if I would have put Cage over.
Yeah.
I might have just left him under the rubble and had him break out of it afterwards and kill whoever won. Because you don't think he's going to come in and beat Moxley at Fyter Fest, do you?
I don't know, because
let's say he doesn't. You brought him in, you immediately give him a world title shot, and he loses. Now what?
Yeah, but
so
I guess I guess he was signed a long time ago. Obviously, he was hurt, major injury. Khan loves the guy.
I heard months ago he was signed.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, and his wife was like, "Oh no, that's not true." And I'm like, "Oh, what? I hear differently from different people that are saying otherwise." And clearly, she was keeping kayfabe alive, which there's nothing wrong with that. But
Jericho makes a living out of it.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do nowadays.
Yeah, Jericho's the king of it.
Yeah, so
I'm happy.
I'm happy he's there. I like Brian Cage.
Me too.
I think the combination of him and Taz will work really well because I've never considered Brian Cage to be a promo guy, essentially. So having Taz there to talk for him will be great. I'm just worried you bring the guy in his first match. He's number 1 contender for your world championship, and if Moxley beats him, now what?
Yeah,
and I kind of worry it's too much too soon for Cage. We'll see how it goes, but I'm a little worried with the decision there because I don't foresee Moxley dropping the title already. I foresee him losing that eventually to like MJF or somebody. I don't see him dropping it to Brian Cage, and if they put it on Brian Cage, who's he gonna feud with? Like, are they gonna go to Cage and Darby, and have Darby beat Cage for the world title? And if that's the case, was Cage just the transitional champion to put the title on Darby? Like, it doesn't. Like, I don't understand the direction of the world title picture in AEW right now. I thought it was way too soon for Brody, and now we're already on the what's next for Brody Lee thing because they rushed that for no reason. Because let's face it, without Uno and Grayson, the whole Dark Order storyline didn't really make any sense after the debut.
Oh.
And then they stuck him in the world title picture, and he lost. Yes, he didn't tap out, but he lost. And so now it's like, what's next for Brody Lee? And now it feels like in July or June, is it June? June 23rd for Fyter Fest, right?
Look.
I think it's June 23rd. Let's just say June. after June, we're going to be saying, well, what's next for Brian Cage? And they're taking all their guys and they're blowing them out immediately instead of building them up to put them in this position. You could even make that same argument for Lance Archer.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about. I'm worried for the big man in AEW right now because they don't seem to really know how to build the big men because it's a company run by
little guys.
And then I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I don't see any favorable long-term booking for any of their big guys right now, and that's a little worrisome.
Fyter Fest is June 29th.
Okay, I was off by a week.
That's a free show, right?
I hope so. It was last year. I hope they don't think that they're going to charge for that.
Yeah, it's hard to put down 50.
Yeah, look,
it's even harder at this time of year or this time.
I'm good with the 4 shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't decide to start adding more at the $50 price tag because you're gonna be irking a lot of people by doing that. I don't think they should. I don't think that's the route that they should go.
So I was on the entrance, obviously. I hear. I was like, is that Taz?
Who can stop the path of Cage?
And then here's Taz, and I'm like, yeah. Oh shit! They're gonna make him a manager after he pissed Darby off over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. They're gonna make. I'm like, wow, I like this because Taz can be a fucking great manager.
Yeah, no argument there. No argument at all. I'm just worried of what's going to happen with Brian Cage post Fyter Fest.
Yeah.
Well, because let's look. If Moxley drops the title already, can we even call that a successful title reign for Moxley? He fought Hager, Brody Lee, and Brian Cage.
I defended it twice.
I don't know, man. I'm not feeling that.
Here's my thought, and you're probably not going to like it.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No. I think Brody Lee causes a DQ at Fyter Fest.
And what leads to a triple threat it all out?
I don't see.
I don't like it at all.
I don't see Brody Lee just rolling over, and this is it.
Well, he passed out. So.
Well, maybe he won't wake up until wake me up at All Out, right?
I almost feel like the Black Order stuff should be put on hold until they can get Uno and Grayson back.
Yeah,
because there's no way that this was the original vision for what they had planned when they brought Brody Lee in, because we haven't seen the 2 main people behind the Dark Order since the debut happened because they've been stuck in Cali.
Yeah, and
until you get those 2 guys back, maybe the Black Order could afford to be off TV for a few weeks.
Well, and 10, was like the number 2 guy.
And 10's dead.
And
they broke his arm.
He got jobbed out. I mean, he had some good offense against Moxley. It was a short match, but he had some offense. But Moxley's held the title for roughly 90 days right now.
And I feel like his entire era has been in the no crowd thing. He's WWE's Drew McIntyre right now.
End of February.
So yeah, I think they had maybe one show in front of a crowd.
A couple
after the pay-per-view until before.
It was mid to end,
maybe 2.
Mid to end of March. I thought was about the point where people were doing middle to end. I can't remember. I started working from home in the middle of March, but it was a work if you can. It wasn't a mandated yet, so it might have been more towards the end of March when they quit doing that.
Well, March 17th, I believe, was the date for the Rochester show that Lee and Hardy were supposed to debut, and that was their first empty arena. So that means,
New York.
At most they had 2 Dynamites in front of crowds after he won the title. At most, it might have only been 1. So,
and New York was hit pretty hard, so that they were shut down a lot earlier. If anybody's wondering what I'm drinking, Snosberry Sour by Kincaidor. Kincaidor's local beer, so got to come to Lincoln unless they ship. I don't know. Deer Park. Does it taste like deer or park?
L.A. Park.
Yeah. So good ladder match. Good. I like the rules. You could refine it a little more. It was a little long, but I mean,
I think they would have been better off doing the 90-second intervals like they originally discussed.
yeah.
And then they moved it to 2 for some reason, and I'm not quite sure why.
Too
But
soon.
I think it might have gone over better with the 90-second intervals.
Yeah, because you got to stretch with 2.
Yeah.
Especially when you're 1-on-1 and then bring the third guy in. There's a lot of stretching. I mean, when you fill the ring up, it's not as bad, but with only a couple people, it's kind of stretching. But
yeah,
happy for Brian Cage pulling down that chip. Happy that he's with the company. Now let's get Melissa Santos over now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her contract situation is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of rumored contract situations, I guess we have someone to discuss later on.
Couple.
Who
you think? Yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe on that, but
yeah, I don't know what to believe either. We're here to discuss and speculate. And so,
do you want to take a double or nothing detour and talk about it right now?
No, let's get through double or nothing. We can get to it afterwards.
I actually, I pull most of my stuff out of PW Insider, and I don't think they mentioned it. So, like the article I sent you guys was Ringside News, so I'm
like consider the source. Yeah, but we're going to talk. We'll talk about it anyway.
I've gone a few rounds with those guys.
They're a bunch of fucking morons.
I can't remember what it was about, but it was that Mike.
Probably when you were working with Sportskeeda, right?
It was the Mike Johnson ordeal with something. I can't remember what he was talking about.
Yeah, I remember now.
It was something to do with Mike because Mike got pissed at me. Yeah. I'm like, oh well. At least he didn't block me or unfriend me. So
shit happens.
2 young and up and coming prospect blue chippers. Well, I don't know if you can't call them prospects anymore. They're already high level caliber talent. MJF.
They're the let's call them what they are. The future of the company.
Yeah, 24 and 20. MJF 24 years old. Jungle Boy 22. And these boys put on a hell of a match, didn't they?
Yeah, great match. Really, really good match. Great ring work. I think. Anybody that was like, well, MJF could talk, but can he wrestle? I think he shut a lot of people up.
Yeah.
With that match that didn't know how good MJF is in the ring.
And if he didn't shut him up. He let them know on Twitter. So a tremendous match there. MJF getting the win. And I mean, I saw complaints about this, but I didn't really? No, not the match, but complaints that MJF wasn't dirty enough. Are you? I'm okay with this because it makes him a legitimate. It's a legitimate win.
Heels don't need to win dirty every single time they win.
I mean, granted,
he cheated throughout the match.
Mm-hmm.
People grasping at straws there, man.
I saw people saying
nothing wrong with this match.
I saw people saying, it wasn't dirty enough, but
whatever.
TNT Championship, Lance Archer, Cody Rhodes. I mean, Daryl and I both agreed Cody should have won this. You're thinking Lance should have won this?
I'm thinking this shouldn't have been the match to begin with.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be.
I told you that before the tournament started. I like this is going to be the finals, but I don't want it to be.
No.
And this was exactly why, because there was no other ending to this match other than Cody winning that title, especially with Mike Tyson being there. They weren't going to have Mike Tyson hand the title to Lance Archer. It just wasn't happening. Like any look, if you even had like an inkling of hope that Lance Archer was going to win this match, the second they announced that Mike Tyson was handing the winner the championship, you should have already known that Cody was winning. So look, I thought the match was really good. I enjoyed it. I liked the story.
Tyson got tired.
Dude, I yawn randomly all the time. Like, people seriously making way too big a deal
Tyson was
out of that online because somebody fucking yawned.
We all know Tyson was high. So
yeah, but look, you yawn randomly. I yawn randomly. Everybody does. And, just because Tyson yawned,
I missed
doesn't mean he was bored of the fucking match.
I must have been.
The camera was dumb enough to go on Tyson right when he was fucking doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's AEW Productions' fault just as much as it is Tyson's. See, you're yawning right there because we're talking about yawning.
Yeah.
You're not tired. It just.
I'm kind of tired.
Well, look, you're not bored.
No.
That's what people were insinuating about Tyson's opinion of Cody and Archer. He wasn't bored of the match. People just fucking yawn sometimes.
No, I've worked.
Get over it.
This is my 11th straight day of working without a day off. So
yeah, but you know what I'm trying.
Yeah, and I've worked.
It's ridiculous. People are ridiculous.
I've worked a lot of hours. I'm kind of stressed because I'm setting up. Got a new fancy mic. I'm going legit, not USB. And I got a mixer board over here. I'm afraid, the reviews were so great, and I bought it, and all of a sudden there's crap reviews. But hey, at least with Amazon,
you just froze.
At least with Amazon, I can return it.
Yeah, that's true.
If it sucks, I'll return it. Go step up. But so I got a little mixer board over here, and I'm waiting on it. I didn't get the right cable, so I gotta wait for that to show up, and then so maybe next week we'll get if I can get to work, that is. But yeah, I'm gonna try to go all fancy audio on instead of the old USB audio on it. So let's talk the title. Clearly, it's not finished.
It's not done. It's not done. And I've already seen mock-ups of fans' ideas to take that current championship and just put some gold plating on it. It looks beautiful.
Marcho
did a mock-up of putting some gold plating on it and adding like a bumpy texture behind the TNT circle. It looked great. It just look, we're in an era right now where shit can't get done at the speed of light anymore, unfortunately.
No.
And the title wasn't done in time. They had to use what they had to use, and we'll see the real finished product in the next couple of weeks. It is what it is.
And look at that.
I scroll. I just don't want to give a final verdict on the title until I see it finished.
I had to scroll through a lot of typing, but we text a lot here.
Find Marcho's mock-up.
If I get
it's
the
not
light
clear yet. Hold on a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it's not. Oh wait, there we go. Yeah, I mean that looks freaking fantastic.
Yeah, and
that looks really good.
And
so
Cody said it himself. Gold plating is getting added to it once.
So yeah, I think everybody's really just, they're flipping out over nothing. And honestly, I think a lot of these people are just WWE fanboys, looking for shit to dog on AEW about, and it's just like, come on, guys. You can like one company better than the other, but you don't need to dog on every single thing that the other company does to make you feel better about the brand that you prefer.
I prefer both. How about that?
Yeah, I like wrestling, period. But I love good wrestling. I don't like bad wrestling. And when every company gives me one or the other, I treat them equally. I've given AEW plenty of critiques over their past year of being in existence. Go back and listen to the show. I'm not like do something that I don't like. I'm freaking, because if you're just kissing a company's ass and everything that they do is great, they're never going to get any better.
No. I mean, that was basically everybody under Vince for a long time. Still is, probably. Kiss his ass and Ain't getting better. Cody himself said it's going to get gold plated added. It's going to look better. I mean, hell, I said, hey, it looks a little plain when the photo leaked.
The best way you could describe it right now is that it's plain.
Yeah, I go, it looks a little plain.
Some people are comparing it to the 24/7 championship, and I'm like, it's already got more detail than the 24/7 championship.
God, I saw people saying the 24/7 title looked better. No, it don't.
That's ridiculous. Just the side plates alone, the red strap looks better than anything that 24/7 title looks like.
I said it looks a little plain, but I like the old school look. It looks like a television title, and that's what it's supposed to be. Britt Baker, unfortunately injured. Not an ACL tear, thankfully.
Here in 4 to 6 weeks. So, I mean, she's going to come out with the official announcement on Dynamite Wednesday night, but I've been told 4 to 6 weeks. So we'll see.
So thankfully, she escaped major injury.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Yeah. Her replacement was Penelope Ford, who I am impressed with in the ring.
She's getting better every time she steps into the ring.
It's like Liv Morgan almost. So her
if Penelope Ford can get as good as Liv Morgan's gotten in the time that Liv's been on the main roster, like the sky's the limit for Penelope in AEW.
And I've been impressed with Kip Sabian ever since he's been paired with her. So it's like they're making each other better almost. So 8-minute match, not bad. I love the Big Bang Theory by Statlander. I love that finisher. That's a cool finisher. She finishes off Penelope with that. Spears all cocky, thinking Dustin ain't going to show up, but he did.
This was not good.
Yeah.
At all. I don't even want to talk. I'm going to go on a rant if we talk about this. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Only thing I'm going to talk about is Tully Blanchard's head on his boxers. Wow. Moving on.
Yeah.
Tribute to Hana Kimura. We'll talk about that real quick. We're not going to go into detail because
I don't really. Let's talk about ranting. I would. There would be some ranting from me if we dive deep into that.
Yeah, tragic story of her passing. If you know wrestling, I think you know the story by now. But we'll pay a little bit of a tribute ourselves to Hana right now. 22 years old, wrestling out of Japan. Wrestle One for a few years, then went to World Wonder Ring Stardom in 2019. And won the Artist of Stardom Championship a couple of times, won the Goddess of Stardom Championship once, and a couple other awards there. Was rated 60th and 61st top women in PWI Women's 100 in 2018 and 2019. Won a few titles in JWP Joshi as well, so just a sad story there. And unfortunately, that's not the end of the sad stories either. We'll get to later on. No DQ match for the AEW Women's Championship. Nyla Rose, Hikaru Shida. I predicted Hikaru Shida to win this match, and I'm glad she did. I thought she looked tremendous in this match. I liked the intensity. Both women. This was a good women's no DQ match when you in an area that you don't get too many of these out there, and I thought these girls delivered.
Yeah, it was a really good match. They worked really well together, and I think Shida's going to carry that title for a while.
It felt like a no DQ match, so when it feels like one, you know you've succeeded. Jon Moxley and Brody Lee for the first of two main events, and this was tremendous.
Yeah, great match.
I
knew it was going to be a great match. Even though I wasn't hyped storyline wise, I knew these two were going to tear it down.
This should have kind of been how Hager and Moxley should have been, I think. Just the type of fight that was brought in it was something I was expecting in the Hager fight, but whatever. But yeah, this was tremendous. Brody Lee being in a main event, co-main event, well deserved, and he showed up. And tremendous match. I'll call this the match of the night because the next match is just on another level on its own, right?
Oh no, Stadium Stampede match of the night. I can't. Give it all the stars, all the accolades. It deserves everything.
It's on its own planet. That's why I gave the nod to Moxley and Brody, because the next match, the Stadium Stampede, was on its own fucking planet. I don't even know where to begin on this. I mean, football introductions.
Look, there's no way we can even begin to recap it. The best thing I can tell you, if you haven't seen this match, pause this show right now. Shrink us down. Go buy the show just to watch the main event. And then come back and listen to the rest of the show. Like, seriously, if you haven't seen the spectacle of the Stadium Stampede yet, you are so missing out. Like, I was not, like, I'll be the first to admit, I wasn't in a good place on Saturday. I wasn't in a good mood. I was feeling kind of down. And by the end of the Stadium Stampede, I felt pretty great. I did. Like, it made me smile. It made me laugh. You know, I got into it. You know, it was a good mood wrestling match. And I don't know how else to describe it. If you didn't feel joy as a wrestling fan watching that, man, maybe you're not a wrestling fan. I don't know. I'm just saying.
This is tremendous. I mean, football introductions. Ring at the 50-yard line was. Did anybody ever get in the ring?
Yeah. They were in the ring for a good 3 to 4 minutes, I would say.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, they were definitely in the ring. Like I said, I watched it 3 times. So
yeah, I need to rewatch it again.
I think they all got into the ring after Hangman chased Sammy off, like on your background.
Like there. Background there.
Yeah.
And then Sammy had to run back down the field later because
they were all in the ring when Sammy came back.
We had to,
because he tried to do that top rope moonsault on Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy moved.
We relived the golf cart incident. Oh my God.
The chair of wheels made its return.
Chair of wheels. The lake of reincarnation.
As Matt Hardy tried to knock the symbiote out of Ortiz.
I was laughing my ass off at the Lake of Reincarnation version 1. Then version 2.
Funny. The first version of Matt Hardy with the matter of facts. So fucking good. So good.
Oh my
God. Matt Hardy's under the water doing the I'm just dying. I'm just like, come on, man. It was hysterical.
I love the bar scene with Hager and Hangman.
Dude, there was some like Hollywood like Jackie Chan shit going on from Hangman there. The flip off the bar and then the roll back on the pool table and stuff. It was great.
I liked him having a drink before they decided to fight.
You here to drink or you here to fight? Yeah. What's the difference?
I liked the old saloon slide the guy down the bar with all the trash on it.
You ever had milk flavored whiskey, JB?
No.
Because I think some of Hangman's whiskey had some milk in it.
I've had rum chata. That's probably the closest I've come to milk flavored whiskey is rum chata, and that's like cinnamon toast crunch milk. So it's basically what it tastes like.
It doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, Hangman and Kenny having a drink. It seems like the Hangman watching this and then watching BTE. We'll cover BTE a little bit after this. It seems like Hangman's back. Maybe.
We'll see on Wednesday.
Maybe.
I'm not willing to commit to that one way or another. We'll see how Wednesday goes.
Another.
And we'll see if Hangman and Omega retain against the Best Friends or not.
Yeah, that could fuck
That
things
could change everything there too.
up. I could see that going either way too. Is that this week?
They haven't said.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can see it. Let me pull up AEW.
Another
AEW's
two.
Twitter and see if they have any. Like, I feel like the only match announced that I remember is they're supposed to have a battle royal for the number one contendership of the for the TNT title.
And
oh, there's so many tweets about Dark right now.
And then Britt talks, and that's about all I know.
Yeah. If I can scroll past all this stuff about AEW Dark.
Another two funny moments of the match. Jericho challenging the play.
You're a shitty ref.
The
video is a lie.
Oh my God. That was hilarious. He's like goes under the hood and just starts talking shit to Aubrey.
It's amazing.
And then another funny part with the water sprinkler coming on Sammy's face. When the sprinklers when the sprinklers turn on Sammy, JR, that poor bastard can't catch a break.
Oh, there is a inner circle pep rally
Wednesday
night. One can only imagine what that's going to be.
Return to the Flim Flam.
And they've announced that Mike Tyson is there live.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
Kenny Omega hits a one-winged angel on Sammy Guevara from about 15 feet.
Amazing.
The view on BTE is cool too, so go watch BTE.
That was definitely a great sign. That was definitely another great angle of it.
So
it actually looked more vicious on BTE because you didn't see what they landed on.
Yeah.
So
you get to see the Bucks and Hangman react too at the same time. Nice long pay-per-view. So you got your money's worth. About 4 hours, a little short of 4 hours.
Almost 4 hours.
So it was damn good. It was damn good.
If you count the pre-show, it was definitely 4 hours.
Yeah.
So
BTE this week. How about that gear that Matt wanted them to wear? Wow.
I think we see them tomorrow night. I do. Not the gear. I think FTR.
Oh yeah.
Will be on Dynamite Wednesday night.
Well, everybody thought Sting was showing up on Saturday too, but
I don't. I don't understand where people are getting. Just because he's out of contract doesn't mean Tony Khan is going to waste a shit ton of money to freaking bring Sting in. To do what? What is Sting going to do? Like, he's retired. And there's nobody in AEW that, in my opinion, no offense to the AEW roster, but there's nobody in the AEW roster that I feel it's worth Sting coming out of retirement for and risking getting paralyzed because of his neck.
Yeah.
Honestly, if there's one match left in Sting, do a cinematic match with the Undertaker, and let that be his final match. Like,
I think WWE answered the rumors with they put a Sting compilation out on the network this week.
Well, I'm pretty sure his contract's up.
Yeah.
And Mattel's like, we don't have the rights to make his figures anymore. So as far as I know, like, his Legends deal is up. Like, WWE could turn around and resign him tomorrow, like they did with Drew Gulak. But I never bought into the Sting to AEW rumors at all when they started, but I would be shocked if we're not talking about FTR on this podcast next week after their debut Wednesday night. I will be very surprised. Say yeah.
That clock with the paper chain. Oh boy, Matt. SCU, they were pretty damn entertaining with CD playing both sides before the match. Look, it took all of a week for Colt Cabana to piss Kenny Omega off again.
You knew it wouldn't last.
How about that? How about the funeral of Vanguard 1? Do ya?
It was insanity in all the best ways.
Everybody kind of getting their gimmicks in is what the funeral was all about. We hadn't had a funeral since Joey Ryan, so it had been a while. And then they revisited Brandon Cutler getting the contract a year ago, and then saying he thinks he let the Bucks down, which is the kayfabe part of things, since he's 0-12.
Yeah,
because obviously he's not letting the Bucks down. What do you think this private party thing just keeps getting weirder and weirder, doesn't it?
I'm over it. And I love private party, but I'm over this. Whatever this is, I want it to be done.
Well, I think it's done next week.
They can definitely do something else on the show that's not this.
A little weird.
Yeah, look, I love weird stuff, but even this stuff's too weird for me.
They're visiting the Double or Nothing set. Hey, Kenny, remember those chips? Poor Kenny. So, what do you think of Scorpio Sky? Looked a little suspicious when he was the last one to leave that room. Didn't you think?
I don't remember.
After they did the shot of tequila, did the SCU. Everybody left. Scorpio was the last one in the room, and he just had this suspicious look on his face when he went
it must have went right over my head, or I looked away from the screen from it or something.
Yeah, he put the tequila in his backpack, and I don't know. He was slow to leave, and just there's something there. I don't know what. And then they showed Jurassic Express kind of talking for the first time since getting back together. It wasn't quite their night at Double or Nothing. And then we saw some cool behind-the-scenes footage with the Stadium Stampede. And that's the end of the show, right? No.
Or so they led you to believe.
No. False finish. What the? So Hangman suggests that him and the Bucks have a huddle to get ready for the Stadium Stampede, and then a bellhop shows up. That bellhop looked really familiar, didn't
he? Poor Marty.
Brandon.
Poor Marty.
Did you? Come on, guys. Did you? Oh, we didn't tip him.
I was happy to see him, but I wish it would have been. I don't know. I wish we would have gotten it in a different way.
I'm sure Mark Cho probably told you his theory, like he told me.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. So. Mark Cho has a lot of weird, far out there theories. No offense, buddy, but yeah, I don't think this one's accurate.
Oh, that Marty thing was hilarious, though. What was he doing down there? Just visiting?
It was in Florida, as far as I am aware.
Mm.
So.
Oh, I laughed my ass off. Some notes coming out of Double or Nothing. Mike Tyson will appear on Dynamite, as we had mentioned. Brian Cage versus Moxley will headline Fyter Fest. More details coming on the show this week. The original plan was for the show to be held in London, but now that's going to change. No official word yet, but
famous place.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to anything else by the end of June yet. According to SoCalUncensored.com, Cage signed in January.
Yeah, pretty sure they're right. That's when I heard it.
Matt Jackson worked with a broken rib. He worked with it, right? He didn't get it at the match.
He got it from diving on the Go Home show when they dived off the bleachers onto the onto the turf, and I think he kind of overshot. I think they were jumping on Santana and Ortiz, and he overshot a bit, or they were too close, and he kind of miffed the ground when he landed. So yeah, hopefully he's all right. We've gone through a long time without having the Bucks on our TV. I don't want them to disappear again.
I know.
We went for a period where it was just Matt and no Nick, and now we're going to go through a period where it's just Nick and no Matt. Like, no.
Thank God,
Bucks.
Thank God we have BTE.
Yeah.
All Out will be held as usual. They like to do it on the holidays, Labor Day weekend, September 5. Cody credits Tony Khan and QT Marshall for bringing in Lance Archer. Calls Archer one of the best 3 workers he's ever been in the ring with.
Dude's a good man.
The side plates for the TNT Championship feature Techwood Drive Studios. It's where wrestling was taped for WTBS back in the day, back when I watched it in the 80s.
You said it was Ted Turner's mansion.
Yeah. So I think this is all stuff coming out of the scrum. The media scrum.
Cody said on the media scrum that it was Ted Turner's mansion.
Oh.
So I'm not sure which one's right. I'm going to go with Cody. He said the plate is Ted Turner's mansion.
Yeah, this is Mike Johnson's report.
I don't know about that, Mike.
Britt Baker has a partial LCL tear, interior tibia fracture, and a small tendon tear of her right knee. Belief is she's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks.
I'm sure 4 to 6. So hopefully what I've heard is more accurate.
Yeah, because Britt's been on fire. Ray Phoenix could have wrestled, but was held out to keep it from getting worse. He had injured.
Better safe than sorry. You don't need it. Look, if he's already hurting, you don't need to send him out there in a car crash ladder match that he wasn't planned to win.
Yeah.
Just protect your talent.
Though I did predict him.
I feel like they did this. They did the smart thing there.
Though I did predict him to win, but UFC legend Vitor Belfort was at the pay-per-view watching from the crowd.
And Vicky Guerrero.
Excuse me. Brody Lee tweeting, respect to John Moxley. That's all I have to say at this time. Okay. Very interesting. NXT, before we get into running down this real quick, what do you think of Kurt Angle returning for the ref in the cage match between Thatcher and
super weird.
Yeah.
Super, super weird. I don't understand it. You already released the poor guy. He's sitting out collecting his 90 days paychecks. So I guess you still have the right to call him in because you're still paying him, but it's kind of
dick
shitty.
Move, right?
It's kind of shitty. Yeah. I don't like it.
Karrion Kross with seriously one of the sweetest entrances in wrestling. He defeated a jobber. Then Ciampa entered, and it got good. And of course, that'll be a takeover match. Great NXT.
Kross has to win, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if Ciampa wins that's really bad.
You're doing all this pomp and circumstance and building up for.
That's what I'm just saying. It could be like if they for some reason have Ciampa go over, that's really, really bad.
There is so much buzz on Kross right now, though. I don't think they're gonna do that. They're not gonna do him like that.
Let's hope not.
NXT tournament, good match between El Hijo de Fantasma and Tozawa, and that puts them both at 2-1. So we got to have a rematch, don't we?
No, because
the head-to-head
head-to-head
tiebreaker
over Tozawa. So he's going on. He's in the finals.
I forgot they did head-to-head tiebreakers there.
Yep.
Which on the other side, everybody was even. So we got to have a triple threat between Drake and Jake and who am I forgetting? Kushida. Drake come out of that?
That's anybody but Jake.
As Drake re-signed?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I'm going to say yes. Or they just rescinded his release.
All of this good shit they're putting out. How can they not?
To me, it would be really dumb of them to let him go after all this. Just so not like Impact or ROH or AEW can reap the rewards. To me, you had to have rescinded his release. You had to have.
Yeah. We got a TNA knockouts match between Mia Yim and Santana Garrett. How about this? I love this. Keith Lee and Mia Yim, real life couple against a real life married couple in Gargano, and I'm for it. I like it.
Makes sense. Gives Mia Yim something to do.
I'm excited. This will be fun.
Yeah, I'm for it. All for it.
I liked Roderick Strong, Dexter Lumis. I thought it was a good match.
I didn't understand. Well, I'm not a Dexter Lumis fan, but I also didn't understand them jobbing him out either.
Having him go over.
Like if you're pushing the guy, Strong's Teflon.
Mm-hmm.
He could take a loss and you could keep building this guy, but now he lost. And speaking of losing clean, it was pretty much a clean win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like now what? He choked him out after the match and whatever, but
one match. It's one match.
I don't know. I thought it was a weird decision.
It's just one match. Of course, Fish and Cole come out and attack Lumis afterwards. No O'Reilly yet, due to the COVID.
He's not. Yeah, they can't have him in there
due to the COVID.
He's got diabetes.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so he's a high risk. So that he's not going to be at these shows until this stuff's over.
Lorcan and Birch got a quick win against Everrise, and then Drake and Kushida. Man, the drama on that match was great.
Good shit, pal.
Drake fighting out of the hoverboard lock. That was just some good shit. Jake Atlas coming out to root him on. You don't like Jake Atlas, huh?
No.
And then Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley. I think a blind man saw this coming with Charlotte Flair getting involved for the DQ.
Well, now Charlotte can drop the title in your house without having to be pinned. So, yay! Let's keep protecting Charlotte.
To Io, I think.
I hope Charlotte takes the pinfall in that match, but I'm not hopeful. I'm just saying I'm not. So I'm just saying what I want to happen. Not that I think it's going to happen.
You funny.
Yeah.
You funny. What do you think of, as we head to SmackDown, what do you think of this handicap title match with Miz and Morrison? Hey. Ho. What do you think of this? Yeah, that silence say it all, basically?
I think they win.
Mm-hmm. I think so, too.
I think the Fiend cost Bray the match.
I felt when this got announced, I felt this could be a unique spot to give Morrison a world championship.
And I like I said, I think it's gonna look like. I think it looks like Braun's gonna win. And the Fiend's gonna cost him the match. Somehow.
And that means Miz and Morrison are both world champions. Miz long overdue because 2011?
It's been a long time.
And then Morrison never. AJ and Shinsuke, good stuff, pal.
As always.
You ain't gonna go wrong with those two. Charlotte Flair Bayley, good match. I love that Bayley got the win there. So there you go. Charlotte got pinned.
There's hope. There's hope that she gets pinned in your house.
And mixed tag match with the good feud of Otis and Mandy against Dolph and Sonya. I really like the Dolph and Sonya pairing too. I mean, we always talk about the Otis and Mandy story, but Dolph and Sonya work really well together and cut really good promos. They've cut some great backstage promos that WWE Twitter does not want to re-air. So then Ziggler has to ask, hey, does anybody have this video? I want to watch it. Sheamus and Jeff Harvey. Hardy getting the win. He's moving on. Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan. Yes, please. And then on the other side, Elias and AJ Styles.
One of these things is not like the other.
Hardy winning this thing, or is AJ winning this thing?
I think AJ's winning this thing.
I can see Hardy, the story, but
I think it's AJ and Bryan in the finals.
I could see.
I think Sheamus is going to cost Hardy the match against Bryan.
I mentioned this last week on the show. I go, I said it seems like it's obvious setup for Jeff to win, but I told Daryl, however, they're kissing AJ Styles' ass right now because they fired his buddies. So they're going to kiss.
And I don't think that they're I don't think they're going to give the world to Jeff when his brother is ruling the world over on AEW right now. So
plus, can they still trust Jeff yet? I mean, that arrest was just 7 months ago. So
who knows, man?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I want to trust Jeff, but
we all do.
Yeah. Monday Night Raw, what did you think of finally adding some NXTers?
Why didn't they give them seats? Really weird making those poor guys stand for
3 hours.
Yeah, not only that, but I heard Monday they taped Raw, SmackDown, and Main Event and 205 Live, and then they taped another week's worth of them today. So, like, those poor motherfuckers have been standing all day.
They're athletes, man.
And look, the talent in AEW gets seats. And I'm a lot more inclined to want to fucking chant shit and be energetic when I'm not standing for 3 fucking hours. Give the people some chairs.
I like the hockey glass, but they didn't really use it.
I think that's going to be the future of wrestling going forward when fans come back. I think for the immediate
I see it
beginning
for the short term, yeah.
That stuff's going to be up at AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor. I think everybody's going to use it. I think it's for the safety of the talents, and for the people at ringside. I think it's the way to go. I
don't disagree.
Yeah.
KO show with the 3 women that were fighting in a triple threat. Entertaining as always. KO is. Congrats to Apollo Crews. I called it. I go, this is a shit story if you don't have him win in the end. Oh, they followed through. He won in the end. It was a short match. It wasn't a compelling match. There wasn't much for near falls, but you got the man finally got a title. So props to Apollo Crews. Seth Rollins, I continue to love this gimmick. What do you think about the addition of Austin Theory? You don't like it, huh? I like it.
Dude, when Theory got kicked out of that group, I'm like, yay, back to NXT for you. And I'm like, no, why do we have to have more Austin Theory on Raw?
You don't like him?
Dude, he's boring. He's boring. He's
Lance Storm?
Lance Storm had more personality than Austin Theory.
Ooh. How about
there's nothing to him other than being a great wrestler. He's generic creator wrestler number 6.
That's because he's 22 and got called up way too soon.
Look, you're not wrong. But his lasting impression on NXT was jobbing out to Tyler Breeze.
He was jobbing out left and right on NXT.
It's just look, I've seen his evolve stuff. I know the kid can work, but I'm not. People that can work in this business nowadays are a dime a dozen. For me, I need more than just than the fact that you can be a great wrestler. I need more. I need more for that for me to become a fan.
But then at the same time,
Theory's just not doing it for me.
And at the same time, you can't really say, "Oh, he's only 22," because MJF's 24. and probably the best.
I think Jungle Boy's 23.
Yeah, but Jungle Boy, I guess he does have a good gimmick and whatnot, but he doesn't cut much for promos. He doesn't really talk. His gimmick is not talking.
But he's got a gimmick, and it's an entertaining gimmick, and he's entertaining with Luchasaurus and Marcus Stunt.
Yeah.
So,
MJF is probably the greatest heel in the business right now at 24. Speaking of great, iconic. God, I was pissed off when I thought they were going to turn him.
That would have been so dumb.
I almost shed a tear when Billy like apologized immediately for slapping Peyton. It was an emotional moment for me. I think they're going to pull those titles off of Bliss and Cross at Backlash.
I hope they do.
That or Billy fucks up and then Peyton slaps her and then we're like,
I don't want to see that.
No, I'm just
we don't need those two as single stars. Their chemistry as a tag team is unparalleled.
I'm just putting out that Vince Logic 101 for you.
And the best chemistry we had other than those two were Sonya and Mandy, and they've already been split. You can't split the Iconics too. You can't do it.
MVP ate a Claymore. Thanks for coming. Angel Garza gets the biggest win of his career, beating Kevin Owens. Of course, he had attacked him and ahead of time, so we had a little heads up.
A little help ski.
Well, how about that? How about the old golf match there with the Profits and the Raiders?
Next.
Have you liked any of that stuff?
Yeah, I liked the basketball one for the most part, and I thought the accident was pretty entertaining. I didn't like this one at all. Kind of felt they jumped the shark a bit with this one.
Theory and Murphy beat Black and Carrillo. Carrillo just in the match so he could take the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Edge cutting a fucking great promo.
As usual.
Go to YouTube if you did not catch that promo. Calling it the greatest wrestling match ever. No, it ain't going to be Omega Okada.
It's a. I hate to even say it like this, but they're setting them up to fail.
Yeah. And they're using this weird remix of the Greatest Showman song.
Yeah. I think it's a bad call. I think they're gonna regret this one because I don't think it can live up to that kind of hype.
I don't think anybody was surprised with Nia Jax coming out on top on the triple threat. Nia Jax facing Asuka at Backlash.
Should have known what was going to happen as soon as the match was announced because it didn't make any fucking sense to begin with. Hey, Natty, you lost 2 weeks in a row. How about you compete for the number one contendership? What? It was dumb. It was just, hey, Natty, you're a jobber, so let's put you in there and make sure you take the pin.
Yeah, because she got wiped with Shayna Baszler the week before. Or
Baszler wins 2 weeks in a row. No number one contendership for you. What the fuck? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, the least, look, if they really wanted Natty in there to do the job, make it a 4-way. Throw Shayna in there.
Yeah.
And let Nia pin Natty. At least it would have explained the fact that Shayna won 2 weeks in a row and was getting rewarded. But Natty loses 2 weeks in a row and gets a shot to compete for the title. Their logic makes my head hurt, man. It makes my head hurt.
Street Profits and took on Bobby Lashley MVP. And that was the end of Raw. Some more sad news. Of course, we brought it up on the show last week. It wasn't official yet, but unfortunately, Shad Gaspard passed away at the age of 39. Not much more to say about that. Dude's a hero. Yeah. Saved his son. Go check out statements from JTG. GoFundMe already hit its goal. 40K by Mr. CTC. A lot of people thinking that was John Cena.
Yeah. I think so too. Who else has 40 grand lying around?
I wish I did.
Yeah, but
I'd have a lot.
Cena does. So
I'd have a lot less bills to pay. Yeah, the initial goal was 100,000. It was reached in 48 hours. I can't remember who all off the top of my head, but
Tony Khan, Chris Jericho.
Khan $10,000. I don't know how much did Chris do.
I don't remember. I just know. I know a lot of people gave.
Shad came to. He was a Tough Enough competitor. Tough Enough 2. Was disqualified. He had qualified for the finals, disqualified after failing a physical, but immediately went to Ohio Valley Wrestling. 4 years later, Crime Time was formed. Great tag team that did not last as long as it should have. JTG got released, but then brought back. So then in 2008 is when they were brought back, teamed with Cena, feuding against JBL. Good times there. And inside professional wrestling, he was a tag team champion in OVW twice with JTG, when they were called the Neighborhoodie. They never won gold in WWE though.
Crime, no pun intended.
Yo yo yo! Who can forget that voiceover guy starting off the yo 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 yo? All right. Ringside news today.
Consider the source before we get into it.
This is the time of the show where I like to bring up crap, dirt sheet crap, because it's not there's no truth to this yet, and I don't believe it because I think WWE's going. First off, okay, they say Adam Cole might leave NXT. Their basis is just, his contract runs out and Britt Baker's in AEW.
But I don't know if his contract's really due to run out. And I question WWE's logic of having your world championship essentially on a guy for over a year when his contract's due this summer. Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, that's a Ring of Honor move.
Yeah.
That's not a WWE move. So, I don't really believe his contract's up. I'm going to talk to people, throughout the rest of the week and try to source this. Didn't have time to do it today. I don't really believe that his contract's up this summer.
I'll tell you why I don't think it's going to happen. They print money with the merch for Undisputed Era. WWE's going to do everything in their power to re-sign him. And he's probably a fool for not taking it at this point in his career.
Yeah, but man, look, at the same token, to play devil's advocate, maybe he just wants to work one day a week with his wife or soon-to-be wife.
Yeah,
or
it's possible.
Or whatever. I mean, who knows?
I think they're going to throw a lot of money at him, though, and it's going to make it hard for him.
They throw a lot of money at everybody.
God, can you imagine
it comes down to what you want to do with your what you want to do with your life. So,
could you imagine could you imagine if all those contracts end up at the same time and they do an outsiders thing and all go to AEW? How fun would
I don't want to see an outsiders storyline.
Guy Daryl knows
too soon in the company's run to be pulling something like that.
Go back. I forgot to mention Double or Nothing, the poll. Thanks to everybody that voted. 57% gave it an A, 9.5% gave it a B, 23.8% gave it a C, and 9.5% gave it a D or F. So majority of A's.
Well, hey, breaking news.
Oh!
Impact Wrestling announced tonight on their television show that Deonna Purrazzo is heading to Impact.
That Knockouts division getting better.
Keeps getting better.
It was already good.
The best thing about Impact right now is their women's division. It's really, really good.
A guy that Daryl knows personally, Blue Meanie. He is signed with MLW. So, good stuff there.
To do what? I don't know.
Matt, you looking for a job within the WWE?
No.
They got a job opening for director of sales. WWE is seeking a high-performing sales executive to generate new business revenue. The role will focus on identifying and driving revenue opportunities for the WWE's media and sponsorship outlets in conjunction with our media distribution partners.
Cody, call me.
Sad news, possibly. Ember Moon thinks her injury may be career-threatening. That's not good.
Hopefully that's just storyline related.
Yeah. The Miz helping 2K, obviously WWE's tie with 2K. So crossing over, The Miz has helped promote PGA Tour 2K21.
Who cares?
Hope it's good, but
It's not gonna be. It's their first ever golf game.
no, it ain't.
Has 2K ever done a golf game before?
Well, it's being made by HB Studios, who does the golf club.
Okay, well.
So, and the golf club, they've put out 3 games. So.
Okay, well, okay. So at least it's not being done in house. They're just 2K's just publishing it.
2K will just fuck it up.
They make me sad.
WWE Network has put out an item celebrating Shad Gaspard's career with the company. So that is out there. CM Punk talking about Owen Hart's Dark Side of the Ring. I had to take breaks halfway through. He had to take a break while watching that. If that tells you anything.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Owen Hart numbers, they beat Chris Benoit's 349,000, so it was the most watched episode of the season 2 by about 20.
Not surprised.
No. Yep, they bookended it with some big stuff there. And for the Wednesday Night War, AEW winning by a little over 100,000, pulled in 701,000. They increased while NXT decreased. Total Bellas pulling in $500,000, actually increasing after they bottomed out 2 weeks ago. SmackDown, slight decrease by just 8,000 people. They hold steady at just over 2 million. No Raw numbers with the holiday. Nature Boy Ric Flair has signed a new deal with the WWE. Woo. 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 Oh, man. I get excited, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Get excited.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
A new podcast is launching on June 11th with Corey Graves and Carmella. OMG. I cannot contain my excitement.
Moving on.
As you didn't know or didn't realize, this is permanent. AJ Styles has shifted to the house he built, which is good because I like that line, so he can say it again.
I am super annoyed.
For a player to be named later, but they always
for future considerations.
They always forget about
which makes Raw the dumbest brand in professional wrestling. That you gave up a main eventer in AJ Styles for future consideration. It makes them look fucking dumb. This should have been like AJ Styles for Roman Reigns. Or something along those lines. Like, if we later find out that it was like they get AJ Styles and the Raw gets like the fucking Usos or something, like, fuck off. Just terrible. Fucking terrible.
FS1 is going to broadcast WrestleMania 31. You were there, weren't you?
I was.
June 2nd at 8 p.m. That was when Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar with no Roman Reigns present.
Vince wished a happy birthday to Roman on Twitter. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like,
is that fake person playing Vince's tweets going to get in trouble?
Yeah, they're probably fired. So that partnership.
Why'd you wish him a happy birthday? He doesn't exist.
Did you hear the story about the People's Elbow this week, Matt? The People's Elbow was The Rock said. I think he was doing promos for Titan Games, which debuted this week. The Rock said the People's Elbow was developed solely to make Undertaker pop in the ring. They wanted to pop him in the ring. And by pop, make him laugh. That was the sole. It wasn't even meant to be a finishing move. It is not a finishing move, by the way.
I don't know. He beat plenty of people with it.
I know. As I mentioned, Sting content added to the WWE network, which I found funny after the AEW rumors. But hey, here we are. Caleb Conley and Zane Riley have began applying for the Revolt trademark.
Fuck both of those stupid idiots.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Though I would get tired of saying Fear the Revolt all the time.
Well, they've already said that they're going by FTR, and the FTR is going to be different things at different times. They were never planning to be the Revolt. And sorry, Caleb Conley, nobody knew you and your partner's tag team name ever until you started whining about the Revival, quote unquote, stealing it.
I mean, it could be called Fuck the Roads, you know? 'Cause he called it Fuck the Revival, so
that would be pretty fucking funny.
Fuck the Roads.
Dude, that would be funny as hell.
I need to Twitter. I need to at Dick Hardwood and say
it's not Dick Hardwood.
God. We came up with a name for the for what's the other name even? God, I cannot.
I'm not even telling you.
I can't even remember. I'm gonna Google it if you're not telling me.
That's why Daryl's not here, because he would tell you.
Cash Wheeler. I can't remember what we came up with last week, so it wasn't as good as Dick Hardwood. Back out! What do you think Tyson does on Dynamite tomorrow?
Hopefully, he punches somebody.
I saw somebody on Twitter.
That's what I was hoping they did. I was hoping they would do on Saturday.
I saw somebody on Twitter saying, "Watch, he accidentally punches Cody and Lance wins the match." I was like, I don't want to see that. Like he's going to punch
like that. That's what they would have done on Saturday.
Somebody had predicted that. No, just predicted it.
That would have been weird.
Yeah, that he was going to go to punch Lance, but accidentally hits Cody instead, and that cost him the match.
I wouldn't have liked that.
Primo and Epico gonna wrestle for Coastal. Who cares? Unfortunately, in this week in unfortunate news, Flip Gordon has re-signed with Ring of Honor. Why? Do my Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that.
Why?
Unless ROH and AEW are going to work together.
Like Marcho said.
Yeah, like I don't believe I'm not falling for it. I'm not getting my hopes up. But like unless that's happening.
Be epic if it did.
I don't see the reasoning for him to resign. Like I feel like he's doing that loyalty to Marty. You know, like
probably
you stayed, so I'm gonna stay here and let you book me type of deal.
Flipping Marty.
I'm pretty sure Marty's gonna give Flip a world title run.
Flipping Marty take Japan.
Yeah, Marty and Flip take Japan.
Mike Johnson gave a spoiler alert that somebody is leaving NXT soon.
Bro.
It says Riddle's going to SmackDown. Oh, give me a Riddle and Morrison match, please. Give me a Riddle and AJ match, please.
I hear Riddle's on SmackDown because they don't want him on the same brand as Brock.
Well, Brock doesn't have a brand. He just shows up.
I'm just saying that's what I heard.
WWE filed a trademark on the 18th for WCW. Okay.
Whatever.
They also Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder filed for a trademark Major Player. Makes sense. Major Brothers, Major Player. I like it. Jordan Grace.
The Major Player Matt Cardona. I'm okay with it.
Jordan Grace applied for the trademark of the Hasset. That's a weird name to say.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure I like that.
The Rock. most electrifying matches have been added to the WWE Network. They span going Intercontinental title, SummerSlam 98, Triple H, Rock Angle at No Way Out, No One. Of course, you got to have Hollywood and The Rock from 18. One of the best build-up pre-match ever, staring at the crowd.
The match was amazing.
The match
amazing
was good.
Story.
The whole thing was
so good.
Rock Angle and Undertaker at Vengeance 02. Rock and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 19. Rock and Cena at 28. And Rock and what? It's Rock and Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 32.
It was like 30 seconds.
I think it's going to be more for what everything he did beforehand.
Well, we get to see him blowtorch his name. I mean, I guess they're putting it on there because it was his last match ever. Because who knows if he's ever going to do another one. But,
speaking of Rock, Titan Games did about $3.5 million, a little down from the season 1 premiere, but not by much. So I'm sure NBC's happy with 3.5.
Yeah, I got it on my DVR. I got to watch it this week.
ESPN is reporting that Vince McMahon is not going to try buy back the XFL.
We'll see.
Here comes Shane McMahon. There is a McMahon on the contract. But it's not Vince. And as we run down the Fightful anything. Wow, Cody helped rub baby oil on Mike Tyson at Double or Nothing. That must have been a slow news day. It must have been a slow news day at Fightful. I thought it was cool that Schwarzenegger honored Shad Gaspard. I thought that was really cool. This was a slow week outside of the bad news.
Yeah, bad news and Double or Nothing, and that was about it.
Balor and Priest announced for In Your House. In Your House. Of course, Drew Gulak signing a new contract, which we've mentioned a couple times here on the show. I guess we skipped over it just because we were going through Raw quickly. Yeah, Rey Mysterio ain't retiring next week, is he?
No, it's a segment being hosted by Rollins.
It
was false. Honestly, it was false advertising by WWE on the show to announce it like they did.
I saw someone post a theory, not an Austin theory, but a theory that Dominic turns on Rey and joins Rollins. I wouldn't hate it. It looks like you hate it. Apparently, you're trying to blade yourself with a water bottle there. Bully Ray was interviewed by Chris Van Vliet. I have not watched the whole interview yet.
Interview.
He said TNA's downfall was mostly due to management. No way!
Bully says it, tells it like it is, man. He always does. That's why I love listening to him on Busted Open.
He ain't gonna give you any sugar-coated shit, is he? I did not get to watch Undertaker Part 3. You?
I did. It was great.
I'm
very upset that the next episode is until like the 14th.
Oh, they're skipping some time.
They're skipping a week or two. I'm like, oh no, give it to me now.
Covered the Shawn matches.
No, the fourth one's covered.
No, three.
Go. Yeah, the third one covered the match in Saudi with Triple H and HBK, and talked about the whole rivalry from WrestleMania 25 to 28 with Triple H and Shawn. The next one's covering the Goldberg match. So that should be interesting.
New Day wants to do flesh-colored gear and wear a trench coat and flash people. That's a
this is a slow news week, isn't it?
That's a very Big E thing to want to do, isn't it? It is a very slow news week. So we're gonna just end it on the flesh-colored gear.
Yeah, that works.
Leave that lasting image of Big E in your mind.
I'd rather not.
That's going to do it for Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Wednesday. And we're also on the YouTube. Links to everything on Facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. And also on Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we share a lot of the great wrestling tweets throughout the land. Go follow Daryl on at No One Like D. Hopefully we can get him back next week. Matt is on at Raw of Showtime. I am on at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into the sunset, Matt, what's your final thoughts?
FTR.
Fuck the roads. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. Have yourself a good one. We'll be back at you next week.